John Smith was cleaning his gun in the library. Suddenly, there was a shot and John Smith was dead. Was it an accident or did someone shoot him? There were 4 other people in the house that day. Charles, the chauffeur, James, the butler, Mrs. Bridget, the cook, and Mr. Smith's daughter, Emily. The Smith Case.
On a crisp autumn evening in early 20th century London, the grand estate of John Smith stood still under the moonlight. Inside, however, a storm was brewing. John Smith, a prominent businessman, was in his library, meticulously cleaning his prized firearm collection. Unbeknownst to him, this evening would be his last. In the living room, his daughter, Emily, was watching television. The flickering light from the screen cast eerie shadows, but Emily was engrossed in her program. She could see the chauffeur, Charles, through the window, diligently repairing the car under the fading daylight. Through the open door to the dining room, she glimpsed the butler, James, methodically setting the table for dinner. The cook, Mrs. Bridget, was out of sight, presumably busy in the kitchen. Suddenly, a loud shot rang through the house, followed by the crash of breaking plates. Emily, startled, jumped from her seat and ran towards the source of the noise. In the hallway, she collided with James and Charles, both pale and breathless.
"Did you hear that?"
Emily exclaimed.
"Yes, Miss Emily,"
James replied, his voice shaking.
"Stay behind us."
The 3 rushed to the library, where they found John Smith slumped over his desk, a pool of blood spreading across the polished wood. The gun lay nearby, ominously silent. Mrs. Bridget, the cook, emerged from the hallway, her face as white as flour. "I've called the police," she said, holding the telephone receiver in her gloved hand.
The interviews.
Within minutes, Constable Hollins arrived at the scene. He started interviewing them all.
"What's your name?"
Charles.
"What do you do here?"
I'm the chauffeur.
"Where were you this afternoon?"
I was outside.
"What were you doing?"
I was repairing the car.
"Did you hear the shot?"
Yes, I did.
"What did you do when you heard the shot?"
I ran inside.
"What's your name?"
Mrs. Bridget.
"What do you do here?"
I'm the cook.
"Where were you this afternoon?"
I was in the kitchen.
"What were you doing?"
I was peeling the potatoes.
"Did you hear the shot?"
Yes, I did.
"What did you do when you heard the shot?"
I telephoned the police.
"What's your name?"
James.
"What do you do here?"
I'm the butler.
"Where were you this afternoon?"
I was in the dining room.
"What were you doing?"
I was setting the table for dinner.
"Did you hear the shot?"
Yes, I did.
"What did you do when you heard the shot?"
I dropped a plate and ran to the library.
"What's your name?"
Emily Smith.
"What do you do here?"
I'm John's daughter.
Where were you this afternoon?
I was in the living room.
What were you doing?
I was watching TV.
Did you hear the shot?
Yes, I heard a shot and a crash.
What did you do when you heard the shot?
I went to see what the noise was.
New vocabulary.
Crisp means firm, dry, and brittle, especially in a pleasing way. It can also describe something clear and sharp.
Example: the morning air was crisp and refreshing.
Meticulously means showing great attention to detail, very careful and precise.
Example: she meticulously organized her desk, ensuring everything was in its place.
Unbeknownst means without the knowledge of someone.
Example: unbeknownst to him, his friends were planning a surprise party.
Eerie means strange and frightening.
Example: the abandoned house had an eerie atmosphere, making us hesitant to enter.
Engrossed means completely absorbed or focused on something.
Example: she was so engrossed in her book that she didn't hear the doorbell ring.
Diligently means showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties.
Example: he diligently worked on his project, making sure every detail was perfect.
Startled means suddenly frightened or surprised.
Example: the loud noise from the fireworks startled the dog.
Slumped means to sit, lean, or fall heavily and limply.
Example: exhausted from the long day, he slumped into his chair.
Ominously means in a way that suggests something bad is going to happen.
Example: the sky darkened ominously as the storm approached. Who do you think is responsible for John Smith's death? Was it an accident or a calculated murder? We want to hear your theories. Share your suspicions in the comments below. And to uncover the truth, click here to watch part 2. The mystery deepens, and the answer may surprise you.